Right, we are back. Apologies for that. The PC went pear-shaped again. It hasn't done it for a while, but it done it just now. It just did a... In fact, all I was doing was hitting... I think I hit the tab button and it just rebooted. So apologies for that. But we are back for the time being. Welcome to Yamaguchi Taru. No, not a blue screen of death, just the PC reboots. And why it's doing it, I have no clue. Meanwhile, we need to catch up with the bracket. What I need to do is I need to tab to the lobby to get that link there, which will take us to the bracket, just to get a quick catch up. We are in the match between Larry and you Plonker Rodney. Larry's getting last two, he's 1-0 up. Coldest Pillows playing Spectre Dawn. And then we've got what's going on in the one loss side, but we're going to stick here as long as I can keep the stream going. I think I turned off auto restart a long while ago, Eddie. I think I did that a long while ago when I was trying to diagnose various things that might be causing this. As I say, every time it reboots like this, there's never an error. There's never an error in the Windows log. You go to the Windows log, there's no any exclamation mark or any other danger signal to find out what's triggered it. I've done all that and looked and I can't find anything. Watch the cue ball. Yeah, it probably is hardware. I mean, the PC, I'm losing track of time, but the PC could be 10. I mean, is it 8 years old? Is it 9 years old? I don't know. I need to trawl through my emails to see if I've got any documentation on it to actually find out how old it is. But like I say, the PC does. I do need to get a new one, but you know that's beyond my budget for the foreseeable future. Yeah, well, it's at least this is at least 9 years old now. But I have this is the longest I've ever, well, it's the longest I've ever went without changing the PC. I used to change them a lot sooner than this and give away the old one. When I worked in the electrical business, when I worked in the retail where we were selling computers and selling televisions, when I did that, I'm not there now, so you know I don't have that advantage. Well, when I get one, it's usually one of the, well, without going overboard, but it is usually the top spec or second top graphics card that I get in it. I don't get something just to play VP4. I mean, in sort of dog years, if you go dog years with a PC, my PC's probably in dog years about you know mid-70s, nearly 80-year-old, but my graphics card is still a good graphics card. It was top of the range at the time. The Titan X was one of the best that was on the market at the time. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much money you throw at a computer. It doesn't make you any bloody better at VP4. I can certainly vouch for that. Now, is that a result I've just missed there? The result was Spectre Dawn and Fast Eddie. Spectre Dawn 7-5 winner. Yeah, I'm going to have to try and put a bit of money aside, and the problem is that I am on a very tight budget to be able to do that. So you know, even to get a new PC, I'm not even getting down the road of upgrading anything in this thing. But you know, to actually get a new one, I'm going to have to wait until I've gathered some savings. That's the only way of doing it, because I'm more focused on keeping a roof over my head. And of course, with the cost of things in general at the moment, nothing's cheap. Right, so we're one apiece with Larry, and I just call him Rodney. I'm not going to call him you plonker Rodney, or YPL, or YPR I should say. Now, had I had I'll say that again, if I had 1,000 viewers, 1,000 subscribers, that would be a regular savings account that I would have. Because that would be just money that was building up. That's not going to get there. Well, that was just trying to be too cautious when all you had to do was run that cue ball off that 8 and run it round into the table. That was a big mistake there from Rodney. Bit of a plonker shot that. That's a classic trigger line in Only Fools and Horses where he says they're calling... What was it? I'm trying to think of what the episode was about, but Trigger says something along the lines of they're going to call the baby Rodney after Dave or something like that. Oh dear. Why do you keep calling me Dave? My name's Rodney. I mean, you've got, you know, to write a script like that where a character just throughout the whole series, all the years it was on, he always just called him Dave. And I think I remember John Sullivan. I think John Sullivan was in an interview at one time. He's a writer that wrote Only Fools and Horses, and I'm sure that he said that, you know, there was a character like that who never really knew the name of some people and just called them by something else, and that's how he came up with the idea Trigger, where he would never call Rodney Rodney. He would only ever know him as Dave. Fast Eddie has won by forfeit. Jess Dev has gone home for the night by the look of it. Welcome to Slim. Yeah, I mean, I don't have time to hand a PC in for somebody to do a diagnostics. I ain't doing that. And I don't think it's worth the money doing it either. I think it's far better planning in the long run to ship this out to the skip and get a new one. Because again, you know, you're getting left behind with some of the big games that are coming out. and it would be an investment for the future as well, because I still live in hope that Gran Turismo 7 is coming to the PC, and of course we've got Grand Theft Auto coming out. That'll be out in the console in over a year's time, and then it'll be another year before it's out in PC. So by that time I might be in position to actually afford a replacement PC by then. So I'm not thinking immediate future. If this PC only ever cuts out now and again and reboots, I can live with that. As if it completely died, that'd be no good. So it's still working, and I can still do streams, and then there's the odd occasion that happens. That happened tonight. Welcome to Tam. I hope you've had plenty of practice for your match tomorrow. We want it to be over within a couple of hours because the Champions League final's on. I want to see it. Nobody knows. Oh, welcome to... Oh, Coldest Pillows renewed his subscription. Thanks for that. That'll go towards my PC. Run a mem test overnight. You might get lucky and spot a problem. Oh, it could, as I say, it could be anything. I don't have the computer technology and understanding to do anything like that. Well, I've already had the psychological warfare started with Interchange X. When I confirmed our match was going to be for Tuesday night at 11 PM, he sent me a message with a screenshot, and it's a screenshot. Well, it could be a screenshot. It could easily have been a what do you call that stuff? It could be done on the photo thing. Photoshopped, but it shows him in a run of 99 at Cowboy. Well, Stefan has taken out Mooncake in a final rack decider, and meanwhile Larry should be going into the lead here. Just going to have to jab this in. In fact, tell a lie, forgetting Larry's getting a handicap. He's getting last two. Well, I said the one thing I said last week was that prior to that match with Spudboy, I was intended to go to bed. Now that backfired when we had two Cowboy matches on, or what was it the hell I was doing? I can't remember. Was it Cowboy matches? So I decided to do them, and I didn't get to bed. Look up Memtest 86. I'll never remember that. I need a Memtest, let alone the PC. I'll never remember that. No, you'll not get 3-0. Well, you will get 3-0, but not for me at that time of night. Watch the cue ball. So what I'm planning definitely to do on Tuesday is get my dinner, sit around for an hour or two, go to my bed, and get up about 15 minutes before that match is due to start. Try and get some sleep. I definitely have to have some shut eye before that, because I'll never I mean, if it goes all the way, if it happened to do that, we could be here to 2:30 in the morning easily, my time. I don't want to get to a stage where I have to quit because I can't focus. But I'll be trying my damnedest. That's all I can do. So Larry's making use of this last two handicap that he's getting. 4-2 in front. And there's that pattern again. So the first thing we need to do is nip up and have a quick look and see how things are doing with this 3-ball. This looks the same as before. It doesn't go into the corner and it only goes into the side. Well, I mean, let's be honest, Coldest Pillow. I only play Cowboy on a on a Wednesday morning or a Thursday morning. If I can get a game of doubles. That's the only time I play it. I don't play it any other time. I'm far too tired. Concentration goes out the window. That's the only table time I get, really. I've been doing, I've been getting in and I've been setting up a room and been in and running a rack for a little while for some practice, just to try and get the pace. But other than that, I don't have enough table time. You shouldn't expect to be working miracles when you don't get that table time. Of course I'm realistic enough. Definitely. I mean, put it this way, if I can win a rack on Tuesday night, I'll be happy. I'm already happy at the moment because I got further than I did in the last Cowboy World Championship. I lost the first round match to Brainful Out, so I did. And I've already done better than that, so I've achieved something. But like I say, I know that if I can get in the mix and down to the caroms, if I'm close behind on the caroms and I get to the caroms, I can beat anybody in the caroms because I can run them together just as well as anybody can. That's where you don't want to get me down to the carom phase. You want to get there long before I can, and then that makes you favourite. But if I'm in the mix with you in the caroms, then it's anybody's. That's where I've got a good chance. The problem I've got is not scoring enough. That's the problem. There are days where you'll visit the table and you'll get 30 and 40, and you could actually get the rack done with about half a dozen visits and it's over. But those are few and far between. It's more likely it's just a trawl and a trudge to try and stay close and get to 90 not that long after your opponent does. And surprisingly, Albinario and others were correct what they said about Chiku. I thought Chiku would be deadly on the caroms, on the 10-foot table, but he's totally, I mean, I watched some of his match, and he's totally out of his comfort zone. The table's far too slow for him. The rails don't react anything like he's used to on the billiard table, and he was more than ordinary in the carom phase. So he was, and Larry beat him comfortably, three racks to one. So he did. So Chiku better stick with what he knows. Well, Spectre Dawn has, well, let's just say Coldest Pillow had a bad match. But there's always the one lost side. You can always get a second go at him. And you've got every motivation now to do that. And meanwhile, Larry is again making good use of this handicap he's getting. 5-2 lead. Let's have a quick update here. Fast Eddie and John Boo are playing on the one lost side. Fast Eddie's 2-1 up. Coldest Pillow's waiting on this match that's just about to start with what do you call them? Potman and Stefan. And then we've got what's going on this side. Spectre Dawn already through to hot seat match and waiting on the winner of this one. Well, don't forget that Rodney was 4-0 down in his last match, won that 7-4. So I don't think we can assume anything from Larry's lead at the moment. Well, he's not quite gone far enough on this 6 ball. The reason I'm saying that is the angle he's got is not great. He would have much rather been up this side of the 6, so it's easy to get comfortable. See, that's why he's had to play the big draw there to take the 9 ball out of the equation, and that's well done. And now he's got to get a little bit of spin in this just to get it around the corner, keep it away from the scratch and get out onto this 8 ball. That's short, he's got to hit it. Now, this is something I noticed in his, what match was it he was playing? Was it his cowboy match against, who the hell was it was it that match? He was hitting everything short. And he's just done it again there on this 8 ball. What was it, cowboy? Was it the cowboy match against Larry where he was hitting a lot of shots short? I can't remember, but I'm certain. I think it must have been the match against Larry when I was watching that. Or what the hell was I watching? What match was he in? I can't remember now, but that was one thing I noticed about him. He was hitting a lot of the things short. But he's managed to get out, made his life hard. Well, balls have gone in, or a ball has gone in. But no shot in the 1, 6 ball hanging over the side pocket. The 4 ball has gone. And this is not easy to play a push out that's going to be constructive. I don't know what you do here. Let's have a look. How does it look from his end? Well, he can't see any of the 3, so where's he going to push? Well, I suppose that leaves the bait there. I mean, Larry can have a go at this, and he's going to run into the 9. He's going to be extremely fortunate to have a shot on the 2 if he did. So he's trying to use this line of balls for cover, and he's got the job done. That's a bit long to jump, isn't it? I think he was considering trying to jump that, but it's far easier to kick it. You never know, something might roll towards that 6 ball. Well, the cue ball did, only slightly. And Larry's got a line where he might run into the 6 ball off this 1 if he brings it across, and he'll be on the 2 anyway. Well, he hasn't hit it hard. Is he going to get there? He's just got there. But it was, almost brushing up on the 6 ball. Now he's got the angle now where, now he either chooses to just pull this back slightly and leave an angle in the 3, or he bumps it out into the table. And he's got there. And, well, that is workable. He can either come back off it or go forward and leave a straight in 5. He'll probably just hold it. No, he is going forward. He doesn't want to go forward too far. So Larry just needs to get to that 8 ball into the side pocket. And he'll be on the hill. What time is it? It's 9:15 here. And it's 15:15 my bedtime. So Larry breaking for the match. Now what was I going to do? I was just going to go to the lobby there for a sec. Because I want to see what that result says. Fast Eddie. Did I mention it? I don't know whether I did, but Fast Eddie's beaten John Boot. 4 racks to 1. And meanwhile, Larry's break this time is dry. And Rodney at the point of no return has the first problem here is potting this 2 and getting on the 3. He's a bit too straight in this 2. This is it's tight if he's coming back the way here for this 3. Well, a little bit of English, a little feather of bottom left, and he's found a gap there. That was well played. That's a long road back from 6-3 down, but it's all in his own hands if the break works. You never know, you just got to keep trying. Watch the cue ball though, this is heading very likely to scratch. It's dead, and that's a huge fail. Well, he's either under hitting him or he's over hitting him. You've got to get the happy medium, but he could have left that well short of the 7 ball. And they would have had a cut and been down in the 8 ball, no problem. Over hit that far too strong. And that's a big sellout. He's going to be heading to the 1 loss side. So Larry just needs to roll the 8 in, and we'll have a hot seat match. So Larry is through for another battle with Spectre Dawn, but in the meantime, we're going to catch up on what's going on in this 1 loss side. So we've got Coldest Pillows going to have his opponent in a second. Once this updates, you're going to have you, Plonker, Rodney coming through there. Tell a lie, no you're not. It's Stefan and Potman. Who the hell? Where's there he is. It's Fast Eddie that's got Rodney. So they're about to start. So we've got Potman and Stefan underway. And Potman's not behind the 8 ball. He's behind the 9. And it's a scratch match, race to 4. Good evening to Travis. Or good afternoon, depending on where you are. That's a well played jump, but the cue ball's gone. And it's 2-0 to Stefan. I mean, you can't do anything to really control that cue ball, especially the line that it was on. I think it was bolt straight. So it's already hard work for Potman here. Stefan, no, I think is dry. But there's a mess of balls on the left side there. So there's going to be a bit of ducking and diving going on here in a minute. Pot's on in the 1. As as long as he doesn't scratch the side. If he's stunning this one in and trying to hold the cue ball right side for the 2, the scratch is on, and he's not doing that. He's letting it run out, bumping the 4. This'll do. I mean, problem again is he's going to have to get a hold of the cue ball, because if he doesn't do anything, he's running down to bump the 7 like that, and he's got no shot. You know, he should have been able to see that. Is he just deciding to try and ride his luck? Because that's never going to work. But like I say, this mess of balls on the left side there, I don't know that was any good either. No, that's absolutely no point, that shot. Right, let's have a look at the 5. Right, you can't get to the 5 at all. So Stefan could get crazy here and try and thin this and get a bump, and he has done. Now how's the cue ball and how's the 5? Well, everything's good. It's all landed into place. There's enough room to get the 4 past the 5. Hold the cue ball like that, and the table's now perfect. Apart from the fact the 9 ball's a bit dodgy. That's the one place things are going to go wrong. Off this 6 to the 7, the 8 ball is going to be wide open, so you'd think he's going to be rolling the 8 ball in and dropping behind the 9 at some point. So he should be out. He can't be that bad a line on the 8 ball off this 7. Well, I mean, that's got there by accident. There's no way he was playing that like that, because he had no clue where it was ending up. I mean, the simple shot was just to leave that straight down into the bottom left pocket here. And that's why he's ended up like that. Absolutely no good here. I mean, when you start doing acrobatics with the cue ball, but you don't really know where it's going, what's the bloody point? Do you see what I mean? I mean, the simple shot was to leave yourself the straightest shot in that 8 ball into this corner, and then do what you need to do if you need to do anything just to get on the 9. So that all ended up no good, because he starts just whirling the cue ball around. And this is very much a bank for Popman. I don't think he can refuse this. He's got to have a go at this. And he hasn't got there. I think he needed to hit that a wee bit firmer. You know, I think it had to be. It wasn't really a very convincing attempt at a bank, was it? He had to really give that just a little bump to get the bank in. It was a sort of haphazard, you know, please go in type shot. It wasn't a I'm going to put this in. So all of a sudden, Stefan's on the hill. And balls are going in. 8 ball into the side. 1 ball is not sitting that good. Now, this is a very good opportunity to be crazy and play a billiard off the 1 onto the 9. Or the cut, like that. That was very well done. Good in the 3. 4 into the side, little roll through far enough for the 5 into the side. 6 into the corner. 7 into the other corner, and 8 in, 9 into the other corner. Game, set, and match. We could have done Wigan through there, but he's fine. So the 7 ball should be going in here. He should just be letting this roll through, just a little tad, like that. Now, why he didn't do that in the previous round, I don't know, but anyway, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. So a comfortable win in the end for Stefan. So, Popman, I think he needs to change his name, because that's a stupid name, and that's why you end up with results like that. I'm saying nothing else. A quick update. So, we know that Stefan's gone through. He's now waiting on the winner of Fast Eddie and Hugh Plonker Rodney. Fast Eddie 2-0 up. Let's see if we can jinx him. But Rodney's at the table. Now, what's he doing here? He tried to play the billiard off the 7 and stay on the 4, and he's ended up hooking him with the 8. I'll have another quick drink. I forgot to mention, Fast Eddie's getting a 7 ball. He's not getting 7 and out, he's just getting a 7 ball, which is actually very generous in a race to 4. Well, Eddie got the hit. Now this cue ball again has to come high enough into the table. And now it needs to slow up. It needs to slow up. It's gone. It's gone. Well, I can see that Rodney has. If there's a flaw in his game, it's speed control, which is probably the biggest problem most players have, including myself. It's speed control, especially if you compare him to the Cobras and Albinarius of this world. That's a criticism I've had watching him in 2 or 3 games where he's either generally under hitting shots, or in this case he's over hit it. So the speed control is something that needs working on. But I don't think that you can be too critical with that, because it's also down to how much table time you're spending in the game, because then you acclimatise a lot more to the table speed the more regular you're playing. But Eddie can make short work of him. He's on the hill right now and breaking for the match. Well, that sounded dry to me. And well, Rodney comes to the table. I don't think he's got anything that inviting here, I'm afraid. I mean, you could blast the 1 ball and it'll cut on the side. Well, he might have been a better chance here if he'd missed the 2. He might have had a combo into the 3, but now he's in no man's land here. Now what do you do with this? I mean, he can play a safety. He can thin the 2 and come off the rail and try and duck in this 5 and 6 here. That's what he's trying to do, I think. Or he might be going for the pot as well at the same time. Well, that's a good effort. Nice little feather on the 3 ball, but the 2's not gone. That was really tough. And I think Eddie is going to have to dig the jump stick out for this, and he needs to watch he doesn't follow it in. And he's fine. So, how often do we say this? One good shot here should decide this, and this is tough getting out of here onto that 4. A lot of dig. No, it won't. It's not Matt. There's no way. There's no way it's Mal. No way. Not a snowball in hell's chance. That's Mal. Well, he got the cue ball out. Because he's nowhere near good enough, and he doesn't play at the pace of Mal. Mal's much quicker. Oh, that's a good cut. How's the cue ball? No good. And Rodney ain't dead and buried yet. Yeah, it's never Mal. Never. I would have sniffed Mal out dead easy. So, kick, and this might end up pretty good if it keeps running. No, it hasn't. It's died. It's checked in the rail. And Fast Eddie, well, he just has to get out of there and see the 6 ball. It's Capo. Well, that's one extreme to the other. It's certainly not Capo, and it's certainly not Mal. And look at this. There's a disaster right in front of your face there. Fast Eddie needed to get the sledgehammer out for that shot rather than try to nursemaid it through those 2 balls. It's died behind the 7. And Rodney better get himself in gear here because he's going to have an opportunity. Welcome to Bedhead. Oh, well. I have a good guess as to who it is. We think it's Yamaguchi Taru, folks. That's who we think it is. Well, that's just going to sneak out. So this might be... Well, I was going to say the big comeback, but it only is a race to 4. I do it. Excuse me, well, nobody's really sure. But I'll tell you something. When these players do these things and change names and change profiles, it'll come out in the wash at some point in the future. They'll make a mistake somewhere along the line. Oh, well, it's all over now, folks. That's the big Albinario miss on the 9 ball. There we go. So Fast Eddie, comfortable win against Rodney, 4 racks to 0. So now, if we have another look, we've got Stefan 2-1 up against Coldest Pillow. That result's just about to refresh and update. So we'll go in and see if we can jinx Coldest Pillow. Welcome to Bill. And Coldest Pillow, well, he can certainly duck for cover here, no doubt about that, if he wants to, or he can go crazy and play the cut. Yeah, well, you've got to wind it in sometimes. See you later, cue ball, because that's what happens when you just overstep the mark. Well, for all the latecomers tonight, just a reminder for you, for next Friday night, 9 ball. Tonight I put up $1,000 as a prize, but there was terms and conditions as regards it. First of all, I was going to have a random draw, because there's plenty of websites on the net that you can do the random draw thing. The $1,000 was going to be given to the player who was first out the hat, provided we had 16 people in the tournament. We didn't get 16 people in the tournament, so therefore we didn't have the random draw. But if we get a full house, I will give $1,000 to whoever's name comes out the hat, or in this case, number. And the number that you're given is how you're listed in the sign-ups. So if you happen to have a symbol in the front of your name like Steve-O did tonight, he's number 1, and so on down to number 16. And whoever the draw gave the number to, then I would put $1,000 into their account. So that will be available next Friday, but it won't be available unless we get a full house. And we were 4 short tonight. Well, Stefan is on the brink. Coldest Pillow is in Last Chance Saloon. And good enough safety. Oh, look at this for a kick. Oh dear, that's painful. What a result there. And that he's tight on that 9. He can't get to the short rail to kick the 2. He's going to have to go 2 rails. But he's got that. Not only has he hit the 2, he's fluked to 7, but he's got no shot. Well, he could really be stubby sheer and give this a blast. He's not trying to nursemaid that into the side pocket, is he? No, he's just trying to duck. Well, can he get to that? I think he can get to that. Can he get to it? Stefan thinks he can. He's trying to just spin the cue ball a little bit here, I think. Yeah, he can. He can certainly get to it. Oh well, it's done everything but drop. So Coldest Pillow lives again for the time being. Oh, he's hit that short. That's not where you want to be. And this cue ball's, it's just going to leak away and leak away. And he needs a favour. Well, he's got a favour. Stefan out with a jump stick. And this cue ball is heading up to the top right hand corner. Whether it's going into the top right hand corner, I don't know. Well, it's nowhere near it. That's probably why he ended up nowhere near the pot in the 3 ball when he jumped at. Well, here we go. 5 balls, the major issue here for Coldest Pillow. It doesn't go in any of these bottom pockets unless you land on the right side for a 5-9 combo or for the 5-6 combo or 5-8 combo. Well, using the 6 ball to stop the cue ball, and that's not bad. Now, can he run forward and bump the 9? He's trying to hold it, and that's well done as far as that goes. And a little nip back onto the 8, and he's back to within 1. Battling for survival here, Coldest Pillow. He's had to do that in a couple of his matches. Apart from the one where he got beat 7-0, the one that I wasn't meant to mention. Cue ball's gone. Oh dear. Well, the one saving grace here is that the 1 ball's gone to the rail, because Stefan would have been comboing that 9 ball every day of the week had that 1 ball been in play there. In fact, if he'd hit that hard enough, he might have actually knocked a 9 in. Look at the line the cue balls took. Welcome back to Interchange X. Well, he's the wrong side of the 2 for a start, so this cue ball's got a lot of acreage to get there without bumping into something. And not only that, this 3 ball is reasonably tight to the rail. Hang on a minute. Well, that's not a bad finish. Coldest Pillow's hampered slightly, probably more than slightly, over that 9 ball. Oh, well, the 9 ball's done him a huge favour there. It just took the pace off the cue ball. Okay, he's not got the snooker, but he's not left anything simple here for Stefan. And that's, well, that's the worst shot of the night, folks. You've just seen it right there. There's nothing worse than that. Well, Welcome back to Fast Eddie. I am barely awake now. And welcome also to Vertical Liquid. So, keep a check on the 9-ball World Championship bracket, or check the main page for it, because there may well be a likelihood that that final match will be scheduled over the weekend. Not 100% certain on it. All we know is that Cobra sent a proposal to Albinario. We're just waiting on that being confirmed or re-proposed. They've got until the 5th of June to play the final, which would mean that if they left it until into next week, probably Tuesday or the Wednesday, then there's no problem in me getting it. And as long as it's at an early enough time, either on Saturday night or Sunday night, I can still get it as well. Because it's a race to 25, the final. It's a long race. And knowing these two guys, Albinario and Cobra, it could end up going all the way. Little cue ball. Oh dear. Well, Stefan walking a tightrope there. Now, game over. Stefan with a handicap, only needing to get the 7-ball, which I completely overlooked. And Coldest Pillows time is up, I'm afraid. 4 racks to 2 win for Stefan. So he battles on. And Stefan now going to play Fast Eddie now. Meanwhile, a quick look at that hot seat match. And Larry is on a hiding at the moment. Spectre Dawn is racing away, 6 racks to 1 up. So I think we'll just wait and see when Larry's going to join us over on the one-loss side. So we will get ready to join Stefan and Fast Eddie. In fact, we'll just get straight in the room. Oh, that's right. You told me that earlier, Cobra, but my brain's gone at this time of night. I forgot that. It has to be over the weekend. Yeah, I forgot you said that. Right, so if it's going to go, it's going to go. Is it tomorrow you said? Was it tomorrow at 6? I've even forgot when you said the bloody time was. Remind us again what you proposed to Albinario. Because my brain has gone. And this is nowhere near 11 o'clock at night. I think the state will be in on Tuesday night. Oh dear. Well, mind you, if you're working till 10 on Tuesday night, you can certainly come in and watch the match. That'll put you to sleep. Well, as we thought, the inevitable has happened. Spectre Dawn has blown Larry away, 7 racks to 1. Oh aye, Sunday at 6 PM. Right, everybody remember that. Because I'll have forgotten that before the night's out again. Right, so this time Stefan is getting last 2 in this race to 4. And where the hell's Yamaguchi Taru been? Why is he not reading the chat? We're talking about the 9-ball final will be Sunday evening if it's going to go ahead. In fact, it will have to, because Cobra, I'm sure Cobra's told Albinario he can't play any other time during the week. Oh dear. Oh. What time is it now? 9:15. Cobra says he's having nightmares. Nightmares about what? About Albinario. Well, somebody get get Google Translate and get the Japanese text. See if that works in the chat. And try and tell Yama the date for the final. In fact, what's Japanese for Sunday? any matches that I see spectred on in a 7-1. Yeah, quite a lot of the times it will be. Well, another opportunity here for Stefan. Now this table is wide open. He's only going to hook himself behind the 8 though. I mean, would you believe it? I mean, if there's a dumb way of getting there, it's that. Yeah, your worst nightmare. I told you that, didn't I? You sent Albie to... I said that 2 matches ago, that Cobra's worst nightmare is beating Albinario, doing the hard work and sending him to the one-loss side, only to have to bloody face him again in the final. Because Albinario will be switched on. In fact, Yama, if you actually clicked, not only there's a subscribe button, but if you click the bell on my channel, you'll get the notification when the live stream starts. There's a novelty to actually do. I bet there's not many you actually click the bell. If you click the bell, you'll get a notification. You'll get a reminder coming through to you telling you that the live stream is on. Like all the good high quality streamers always beg their viewers to click the like button and hit the bell for notifications. I don't do that. I just think you would use your common sense and do it. So Stefan, first blood. 1 and 2 ball have gone. He's got the thin cut in the 3. He's going to bump the 6. Now if he bumps the 6 the right way, he might come out quite good in this 4. And that is, well, it's just not a great angle. He's going to leak away down towards that 8 and 5. Whether he's going to finish short on it, oh, he's fine. He's absolutely fine. Now, is that hit the bell for notifications in Japanese? Now, there's something that we don't have. I wonder if they have it in. I wonder if they have that in Japan. They must have a. Has there ever been a what do you call it? Wrestling game? Has there ever been a sumo PC game? They must have a sumo game on the PlayStation in Japan. They must have a sumo game. I can't believe they've never had a sumo game in Japan. I mean, imagine that. You'd be playing bout after bout, bouts that last like 10 seconds. Not even that. There was one in the N64, was there? I've never seen one, but I'm assuming that, you know, being that, you know, Nintendo's Japanese and the Japanese are known for doing bloody obscure games anyway, but you know, you would think the popularity of sumo in Japan, you would think they would have that as a game. I used to get imported Japanese games for the N64. There was a place in Glasgow that used to get imports, and you had to buy the adapter for the console because the cartridges were a different design, and so as long as you got the adapter, you could actually play the game on a European N64. Oh, I loved, what the hell was it in the N64? Mario World, Super Mario World, I had that. It was a brilliant game. I also had a great F1 game on the Sega, not the Sega Saturn, the Sega Dreamcast. I had a Dreamcast console. It was a great little console. Just a pity there was no games for it. It died a death as soon as it was launched. And it was obviously more popular in Japan than it ever was in Europe, but I thought it was a great little console. In fact, that was the first time I ever had internet. on the Sega Dreamcast, you had a very basic internet thing on it, like a browser, and that was the first time I was ever online. Because I never had a computer back then. I just had consoles. I've still got an old. It's still sitting downstairs in a black bin liner. I've still got a boxed Sega. Well, what's the very first console that Sega had? I've still got one of them with the square controllers with Alex Kidd and Miracle World built into it. It must be worth a few bob now in terms of being a relic from the past. It was ahead of its time. Yeah, the Master System, that's what I've got. I've got an old Master System with, and it still works. It's still got all the controllers and Alex Kidd built into it. I had a Mega Drive as well. I never got that CD Mega Drive thing. I never got that. Because I think the next thing I did get was the Sega Dreamcast. It had a good Formula 1 game on it, the Dreamcast. I remember that. But like I said, it was just the fact that there was no support for it. You know, they didn't. Game manufacturers didn't really aim anything at all for. They didn't. You know, you blame them because that's how it ended up dying. It didn't get the support from the gamers itself, and it was doomed to failure. So Stefan with the 2-1 lead. Now does this... I don't think he can get enough of that. You can only see an edge or so of the two. Now what's he left? Well, he's left a clean shot at the two. He's not going to scratch off this. He's just got to try and find a gap either in the table here or over this side. It's probably better going this side here because the line the cue ball's going, it's all about pace. But he's going to be either just seeing the three or he's going to be inside the three nearer the rail, doing it that way. So it's going to be a cut. I never had any of those side-scrolling fighting games. I wasn't into any of that stuff. Right, so let's see the line he's going to have now. See if he just gets past the 7, which he hasn't. He was almost perfect. Now, this may well bank up and down though, or down and up, however you want to describe it. He might be able to cut across this and bank this 3 ball. He's trying to jump the edge. Oh, that's unlucky, but that's the problem when you're, when you're reasonably jumping reasonably close to the rail or where the object ball is that you're trying to jump to. There's always a chance that the cue ball can head onto the floor. Well, Stefan getting last 2 should be odds-on favourite here. Just a little roll through, pop the 7 into the side or up table. More than likely up table now. And he's good on the 8 and he'll be breaking for the match. So Larry lies in wait. The one of the earliest games I got on the Master System was Ultima. Was it Ultima 5? Which I was really into. I mean, you think about the graphics and that, it was absolutely awful compared to what you've got now, but I loved that game. I played that for days on end. Ultima, was it Ultima 5 or Ultima 6? It was one of the two. Oh, cue ball thought of going there. Oh, look at the bump though. The bump's perfect. I remember I bought an imported golf game for the Nintendo 64. And if you actually go on to Google and Google it, you'll probably see the cartridge. I bought Waialae Golf, which is a golf course in Hawaii, and the game consisted of one golf course. That was it. Waialae Golf. It was one golf course. You know, you've got things like Tiger Woods that have like, you know, a dozen golf courses on it. Well, this cartridge was an imported cartridge from Japan, played with the adapter on the console, and it only had one golf course on it, Waialae Golf. And I must have paid over the odds for that at the time when I bought it. Well, he did have a go at the bank up and down there, I think, and he's ended up with a good result. Well, the 5-ball is really awkward. There is room past the 8, there isn't a problem there, but whoever gets this 4-ball is going to be hard pushed to get really good on that 5. I still hark back to the days about when we first had an arcade in our town, and we had, I mean, it was in an old dirty building, an old tenement building, and we had half a dozen pool tables upstairs, and downstairs consisted of a row of 5 Space Invader games, as well as having the sort of one-armed bandits that you had as well. But the actual video games downstairs were a row of 5 Space Invader games, and it was just Space Invader games. It had just came out, and that was all we had. And when we used to go down there on a Friday night, it would be queued. There would be like a queue of 4 or 5 people with credits in the machine, all waiting their turn to play Space Invaders, because that's all we had. And I mean, I'm thinking back to how many years ago was that? Was that would that be 1978, 79, round about then, just before Thatcher came in? And I did say this one night when we left the place. I said, at some point in the future we'll have machines like that at home, but there was no such thing as the consoles back then. The only console I think you had was the one that you played that the tennis, you know, the black and white thing where all you had was the paddle. You slid up and down the screen, and the little cube was bouncing around. That's all you had. That was what you had by means of a console. And you think about how things have advanced over the years, and the technology's advanced. I mean, that's well over 40 years. Back in the late 70s. And now I think if you go to most towns, I think, certainly up here, I think all the arcades have all died. I think all the arcades have all died because everybody's, you know, got all of that technology at home now. You don't need to go to play fancy games. Maybe they've got, you know, fancy arcades down in London, some of the bigger cities in the UK, but certainly, you know, up here I think you're going to be hard pushed to find anything like that now. They'd all really be struggling for business now. Right, anyway, Stefan is the victor by 4 racks to 1. He's sent Fast Eddie home. So we're going to get confirmation. We have Larry and Stefan battling it out in the semi-final. Larry, of course, looking to have another go at Spectre Dawn in that final, but Larry's going to be hard pushed here because Stefan's going to be getting a nice little handicap here, whatever it's going to be. So we'll get in and find out. A Binatone console, never heard of that one. Well, I mean, Friday night 9 ball, 7 o'clock it starts here, so it's starting like, what, 1 in the afternoon, 2 in the afternoon, your time. Right, Stefan on the right, and Stefan's getting the 7 ball. That is extremely generous, because Stefan's more than good enough to get to that 7 ball. But Stefan, way too heavy. Larry's nailed it. So Larry's going to break. Yep, you come out with a profit. And had you had 16 in the tournament tonight, you could have had an even more profit if you'd been lucky enough to win the draw, but we couldn't get 16 in. Well, you were just short of a profit, were you not? You weren't far off it. I think you were probably one more match. Well, the 1 and 3 are absolutely dead, so that'll take care of itself. 2 balls handy where it is. Oh, that's not handy though. That's all gone wrong right off the bat. That's gone really wrong. Well, Larry can try and get really nasty here. He can try and get really nasty. Well, he isn't, and I think he should have. I mean, to me, that's crying out to try and send the cue ball down behind this 5 and 8. And he might regret that, Larry, if Stefan's got an eye here. I think I'd be aiming to try and come short on the short rail and bump into the back of that 5 and 8. See, that's gone too wide. He should have went narrower. But it's still really awkward. Oh, tell a lie. I thought the cue ball was the 9 ball. That's the brain gone. The brain is definitely gone. Whatever comes out my mouth, the brain isn't thinking about it before it's spoken at this time of night. I can tell you that. Oh dear. It's always a struggle at this time. Oh, Stefan's had to do a runner. We just got a chance to read it there. He said, sorry, something's come up. He's had to go. Which I'm sure is genuine enough, because there's no way he's battled all this way to have to run out. But anyway, he's done me a favour. At least he's shortened the match. And we've got a final. And the room is up already. So I hope everything's okay for Stefan. I hope it's nothing alarming. That's the only thing. I mean, obviously he's not going to say what it is, but you always start worrying and you start thinking, well, I hope it's nothing. Hopefully it's maybe just somebody that's arrived, that's paying a visit, and it's not anything else, anything serious. And Larry getting some table time before Spectre Dawn decides to arrive. So it's actually 9:34 my time. And the quicker Spectre Dawn gets in and gets on with it, the better for me. Uh-oh. Well, you want to get that miss out of the way, Larry, before the match starts. Oh, my head will hit the pillow and I will be out like a light. I can guarantee that. I can also guarantee that when I finish my shift tomorrow, which is at 12:30 in the afternoon, and get home, I will have something to drink, something to eat, and I will be out like a light again in the middle of the afternoon. Come on, Spectre Dawn, get in for God's sake. This is just torturing me. Right, here we go. Spectre Don on the right. Scratch match, no handicap. Larry on the left. And Spectre Don having sent Larry to this one-loss side with a 7-1 win. Larry will be looking to turn that around. I've actually, I went down to one pillow. I found I was getting a sore neck. I had just got 2 new pillows, right? And of course the new pillows are big fluffy things until they're sort of worn in. And I had been using the 2 of them, but my head was sitting at an awkward angle when I was sleeping, and I got rid of one of them. And I'm now down on one pillow, and I'm having much better sleeps because my head's a lot more level, rather than having these 2 big potato sack pillows that I had. I'm down to the one, and it's a lot better. I'm sleeping like a log. I'll tell you, within 10 minutes I'll be gone. I'll have no problem in getting to sleep. Because I'm semi-conscious at the moment anyway, so I've not got that far to go to drop off. Well, going to be a wee bit of ducking and diving. Oh no, they're all synthetic pillows nowadays. I haven't had a feather pillow for goodness knows how many years, and they're more hassle than anything. They're all anti, what do you call them, pillows now? What is it you call them? You know, anti-respiratory things and all of that stuff. I'm trying to think of the word, but my brain's gone. I can't. My vocabulary, as short as it is, gets even shorter at this time of night because I can't form words. Yeah, yeah, that's what I meant to say. Yeah, that's what I was trying to think. Yeah, allergenic, that type of thing. All the pillows are like that now, so the last thing you'll have in a pillow now is feathers. They're all just like sponge now. Well, this ain't going to work, I don't think. He had a good go at it, and he can hit this full in the face and bump this up the table and put Larry in trouble. He can certainly do that. Problem is, he hasn't got tight. He has not got tight. Now, Larry can hit this. Now, this might go to the rail. It might come down and bump the 9 and go in. You never know. Oh, what a shot that was. That's a great jump. But that was a mistake. A poor safety there from Spectre Don. Now, if Larry can nail this, he's off and running. Do you have any Dunelms by you? Yes, we do. Yeah, there's a Dunelm in the retail park down the town. That's where I had to buy my new little bed. Well, I call it a bedside fan. I have a fan that I put on in the summer months. I had to go there last year to buy a new fan because my old one packed in. So that was the last time I was in Dunelms. Well, Larry grabbing the bull by the horns, as they say. So I let off the hook there by Spectre Don. The safety didn't get there, and Larry with an excellent jump and bank. And the run out from there. Well, he's now got the same amount of racks that he got in the first match with Spectre Don, so anything after that's a bonus. Oh, he's the little rub of the green there because the 4 ball and the 1 ball just came together and then they split apart and the one ball sitting perfect. The only big problem is that 5 and 6. You know what I thought you typed there, Coldest Bill? I thought you'd type Big Advocate. And I was about to say I haven't had an Advocate for years. Used to only ever get an Advocate at New Year. There was always a bottle of Advocate in the house at Christmas. And my mother and me would have an Advocate with lemonade. Lovely. That's your first. I think that's probably from, you know, anybody of my era, that would be your first taste of alcohol as a kid. It would be at Christmas, and it would be a sip of Advocate. Very nice it is, Advocate, so it is. Now, what's Larry looking at? The bank, and what's he then going to do after the bank? That's the question. Oh yeah, you can still buy Advocate. I'll be honest with you though, I don't think we've got a big store and we've got a lot of alcohol in it. And we've got 2 aisles full of beer and whiskey and vodkas and rum and you name it, we've got it. But I honestly don't think we'll get any Advocate. I don't think, you know, it is a bit like a Christmas thing. I think we do have Warnick's Advocate in at Christmas time, but I don't think you see it any other time during the year. So you can still get Warnick's Advocate. And we had another bottle, we had another brand, I can't remember what it was called, it was obscure. So we had like 2 brands at Christmas time, but yeah, you'd be hard pushed to find a bottle of Advocate this time. You've never heard of Advocate? It's yellow in the bottle, and it's creamy, and of course it does, you know, it does have alcohol in it, but it's not something you would generally have on a regular basis. If I remember rightly, Advocate Warnick's was based in the Netherlands. I might be wrong, but I think if you Google it, well, it might look like eggnog. It might look like it, but this is yellow. It's like banana yellow colour in the bottle, and it's thick. It's thick and creamy. So we're 1 apiece in tonight's final, of course, race to 9 with no handicap. And 1 ball has gone into the side pocket. I think it was the 1 ball, yes it is. 9 ball is over the left side pocket, but everything is on. So Spectre Dawn has found the break already, which is bad news for Larry. He might have a little while to wait here till he gets a shot. Oh, Bailey's must have got to got now. That's something I've never tasted. Bailey's. I've never had any Baileys of any description, because they do Baileys in various different flavours now as well, don't they? We do about 4 or 5 different flavours of Baileys. At Christmas time, again, we don't do that. We do the normal Baileys all year round, but at Christmas time we have various shapes and sizes of it, and various flavour variants. They even have Guinness in the USA, Coldest Pillow. I mean, that's one reason never to go to the United States if they never had Guinness. That'd be the biggest mistake they'd ever make. Not having Guinness on draft and chilled. Was that going to get in? Yes, it is. Well, let's see how many that Spectre Dawn can put together here. Having got that rack to tie the match up, he's got his break working straight away. Can he keep it going? Yeah, that's like me now. I mean, on a Christmas night out at my old place of work, Hooch had just come out onto the market, and I was drinking that like lemonade because it was lemonade flavour, and that's the biggest regret I ever have. I had the worst hangover I've ever had. I was ill the next day because I was drinking it like lemonade, and that was a huge mistake. And that was definitely one of those mornings the next day where I said never again, and I've never touched it since. Well, I don't know whether this cuts or not. Larry must think it does. I think it does. Yeah, it's got to be wafer thin though. Yeah, he didn't get it wafer thin. That was far too thick. Now where's the cue ball going? Well, it ain't going anywhere. It's going plumb on the 2. And this is just going to be a little draw back for the 3. 4 ball over the top pocket. Into the gap for the 5, into the corner. So we know what's going to happen here. Well, he's got in the spot for the 5 ball. So there's only going to be one outcome here. It's going to be a 3-1 lead. And Larry's already chasing Spectre Dawn's tail again. Well, I don't know, but I mean, I think it takes you when you first start getting alcohol. It takes you a little while to find out what you like and what you don't like, and I finally narrowed it down to stuff that didn't disagree with me, and that was Guinness and vodka. Not at the same time, but Guinness and vodka. If I stick with that all night, I'm good to go. That used to be what I had when I was down the snooker club. I'd start off with 2 or 3 vodkas, and then I'd move on to the Guinness, and I'd be happy the rest of the night. And of course, the other thing is, with Guinness, you were always guaranteed to have a great sleep. I would recommend a Guinness, like an hour or so before you're going to bed. Get yourself a Guinness, you'll sleep like a log. Nice little nightcap having a Guinness an hour or so before you're going to bed. Well, I don't know whether Larry will take this. Spectre Dawn's push out, I don't know what Larry can make of it, and that's why I'm wondering why he's not giving it back, and he has given it back. And Spectre Dawn's come up with a decent reply. Now this may well just go to the rail and bump the back of the 8 and stay in play, this one ball. That's why Larry's looking at trying to sneak in the back of it. I don't know whether he can get there clean. No, that's tight. Oh, he has done. And the problem was always going to be that. He was going to leave Spectred on a shot. Well, I think the one thing that we can say for certain, he certainly wouldn't be pulling his own pints. That's one thing about Stubb. Was that politically incorrect, that statement I made there, was it? I was watching a clip of Kevin, oh, who the hell is he again? Oh, in fact, I was watching a couple of clips of him. I was in fits of laughter. Kevin Bridges, I was watching some clips of him on YouTube earlier on today. Oh dear. Ah, he's funny. Well, this is taking a nasty turn similar to that first match, Larry. Is Larry going to get his quota of racks off Spectre Dawn tonight? And is it going to just be 2, 1 in the first match and 1 in the second? He's now 4-1 behind. He needs to get into the table and he needs to be getting his break working, but he's got to get a shot first. Oh, cue ball's gone, so Larry will have a chance. So ball in hand. Right, so where does he start? 1 in the side and come back for the 2 into the same side pocket. 2 doesn't go past the 3, so he's got to just nip back off the 1. But he doesn't. He wants to be playing the 2 clean, which I think he is doing. He can go forward and come out. Now, big problem is how good he is in the 4. If he's straight in the 4, then all he's doing is a stopper for the 6 ball. If he's not, then he's having to run into a space. And I think that's as good as anything. That's as good as anything where he's got himself to. He'll just be holding the gap. Oh, I think he's boobed there. Crack ball mouse. Commentator's eye. Crack ball mouse again from Larry. That's a disaster. Larry trying to play the little dinky shot and they're never reliable. I keep telling you, I keep telling him. And more video evidence if ever you needed it. I mean, table wide open at his mercy, and the only thing he could do was that to make a complete hash of it. Well, Larry's given himself more pain with that shot, tell you that straight away. How much is that going to cost him? He was going to be back within 2 there, and now suddenly he's 4 behind. This is going to hurt. Well, a huge unforced error from Larry. Oh, that 6 ball's going to make it. It's going to make it. It's just gone in. Well, the table's not all that bad. The 5 ball's a bit of a problem. The first ball, this 1 ball, certainly not a cinch. But the 5 does go. And then the other problem is getting around clean, which he's done, to get on the 2. But he's going to be hooked. Well, he's got to go for the cross bank here. I think he might as well have a blast at it. It's a good line to get the crossover bank. And I can't believe he's not going to have a go at it. Yeah. Well, Larry's been given a reprieve. And the question is whether he's going to be good enough to get there. Because the big problem will be the second shot here from the 3 to the 4. 4 is, there's no way it's going past the 8 ball. There's no way he's playing for that. So he's got an angle to come across on the short side of the 4. If he gets into this too much, too soon, he could scratch. And if he does that and not get into it enough, he'll end up like that. It's hard work. He's had a nice bump in the 5. Very nice bump. He just needs to let this roll out. All focus in the pot and topping the cue ball so that the cue ball's going far enough for a comfortable shot. And how straight is he in the 7? Well, he can give this a good thump and stun it out. In fact, he had enough room so he could spin it around the back of the 8, so that's even better. But now he's ended up too straight. So, big jack up time. Well, he's got his jack up. No, he's bailing out. He's bailing out to the Albinario cut that you miss. Oh dear. Pressure on here. Well, he's got it though. Took the risk, leaving it long. Back to within 3. And cue balls. Oh, it's gone again. That's another disaster. Well, they're coming thick and fast for Larry. He's doing everything he can to throw this match away. Or certainly at least give Spectre on loads of opportunities. So ball in hand. 1 ball's tight. 3 ball is accessible. 4 balls handy up top rail. So we know where this is going. Now, while Spectre Dawn is doing this at the moment, he's going to be on the 4 ball unless he does something daft. Let me just tab out because I want to do one final check tonight. And we're going to do it on a 9 ball world championship. Let's have a quick look. So still nothing confirmed there. I've got one new message for some reason, but I ain't going to open it. Right. So we're back in time. Spectre Dawn looking good for 6-2. Well, I think he was actually a bit too straight in that 5 ball, which is why he had to go forward. Now, again, he's got a choice. Does he want to just go forward and check it and play the 7 past the 9? Presuming the 7 does go past the 9, which it does. And that's right on the button. Well, the road is getting longer for Larry to get back into this, but no chance of doing that when he's not at the table, and neither will he be getting any if Spectre just keeps potting balls in the break. Then this time it's a 7 that's gone. He's sitting reasonably well on the 1. Oh, it looks reasonable from here. It might not. It isn't when you get down to it though. It's a thin cut. And he's killed the cue ball. That's very well done. 4 ball up there in the short rail. And he just wants to stay short of the 3 ball. In fact, he couldn't because he had too much angle, so he just dropped through on it. And he's again, this will do. But how's it? Well, I say it'll do. Is that he's actually going to the wrong side of the 4 ball here, off the angle that he's got in this 3. He's ended up on the short side. He might just go forward if he can and avoid the 9 and check it up to come back down the right side. He's avoided the 9. He's checked it up. He hasn't scratched. And he's left a high cut, which he's just going to probably nuss this in. I don't know that can he nuss this in and still hold the cue ball short of the 5? That's my question. Because really and truly you'd want to just cut this in and run to the short rail at this end and back up into the table. So you've got to avoid the 9 and the 6, and he's done both, and that will do. Has he got an angle to get onto the 6 though? Well, he's got to give this a bang. Got to get the cue ball out off the rail. All good for 7-2. And it's just gone past 10 o'clock. So the tournament's 3 hours and 3 minutes old. And Spectre Dawn is 2 racks away from goodness knows how many Friday night 9 ball tournament wins. It's a lot. 3 balls going to go in. One ball is on. However, a lot of work to do with the cue ball, but this is not the best of angles in the world that he's got here. But if he's going to thump this in with draw and bottom and left English, he's going to stun to the rail and get the spin working, and he has to avoid the traffic. He's found a gap, and that is perfect. That is absolutely spot on, nailed, apart from the fact he's too straight. He couldn't have played that any better. Well, I mean, there's the obvious reason as to why Spectre Dawn is out the tournament, and that's if you go and look at the stats on the 9 ball World Championship. And if you look at the stats on that match that he had there with Albie, Albie was still breaking at a ball in the break. He was still doing it 1 point something balls in the break. for the whole of that match, whereas Spectrodon was half that. He was 0.500. And the problem with that was that when you look at the overall stats, Spectrodon was 0.800 for the whole of the tournament, way short of Albinario. And that's where, and the reason he ended up really losing is that his break didn't work for him. And had it done so, he may well have still been in the tournament. Albinario, on the other hand, had a crap break in the 10-ball World Championships, and suddenly he comes to the 9-ball World Championship, and his break has been, as far as I can remember, pretty damn good for all the matches that he's had. It's been more than solid, and that's why he's ended up going and battling and hanging in all the way, even though he ended up getting beat by Cobra. He's going to have that second go at him. So Albinario's had his incentive. As soon as he lost that match to Cobra, he had his incentive to really focus, to have a second go at him, and that's happened more than once. And meanwhile, Larry, on the start of the comeback trail, needs to get below the 7, and that'll do. You also have to then don't take away any of the credit for Albinario's runouts from the break. If you look at Albinario's runouts from the break, he's streets ahead of everybody else. Okay, he's played maybe one, possibly 2 matches more because he was on the one-loss side, but that still doesn't discredit the fact that he's still miles ahead of everybody in the run-out part of the game. So everything about Albinario's stats is top of the tree in the tournament. That's why he's favourite to win it again. And Cobra's break stats for the tournament, although they're not quite as bad as Spectre Dawn's, they're still fairly short. No, tell a lie. I take it back. He's on a ball in the break, Cobra, for the tournament at the moment. And of course, Cobra's played less matches than Albinario. So there's not much between them in terms of the performance of the break. So it could run very close, and then it could come down to just the odd unforced error. Because those two guys are going to be taking out each other if they fail to win a rack and make a mistake. Right, if that's you away, Eddie, good night. I won't be far behind you. Oh no, it wasn't Eddie, it's Interchange X. I'm falling asleep and missing half the chat. Well, Larry's looking good at the moment. I tempt fate whenever Larry's got some sort of shot like this. I mean, it looks easy enough. It's maybe got more angle than you think. But he should be okay now. And back to within 3. That was another player that hadn't signed up for the Cowboy Baker Maker, who's he makes few and far between appearances in VP4. But he's a good Cowboy player. He would have probably enjoyed being in the tournament. And meanwhile, Larry's, what's he got? The 3 ball and the 5 ball have gone. And the safety on the 1 ball. Spectre Dawn. I mean, Bill would jump that. And likewise, so would Spectre Dawn. Andy's on the 2. And that shows you that if you're going to play a safe onto a ball, you've got to nail it to it. If you leave that 1.5 to 2 inch gap, these guys are jumping over it. Larry probably thought he was good for coming out and topping this rack, but because he didn't get so tight, suddenly things change, especially when Spectre Dawn delivered. Although this is going to need a good one. Thin cut in the 4. Cue ball. Well, I don't know whether it's going to catch the back end of that 9. It looks like it. And if it doesn't, it might go around the corner and catch something in that 8 ball. Well, he's had 2 good looks at this. Well, he's got second prize. And Larry's not jumping that. I'll tell you that straight away. Well, that's a great shot. I mean, that's better than nothing at all. I mean, he got the hit. And if he hadn't bumped that 6 ball, it would have been an even better shot. But I think at the distance this 4 ball's off the rail. This is a bedhead cut for Spectre Dawn. And it wiped its feet, but goes in. And within the next 30 seconds, Spectre Dawn's going to be breaking for the match. So we've got one match certainly tomorrow at 5 PM British summertime. That's at noon Eastern time, 9 AM Pacific. The Cowboy match between Fast Eddie and Tam. We'll have a live stream of that. And there's also another match on tomorrow, unless there's any even more on, I don't know, but there's certainly another one around about 8 PM. Where's the cue ball going? He's good. Well, at least Larry got 4 racks. He still might get something else, but he's going to be hard pushed to win this from this position. 8-4 down, Spectre Dawn breaking for the match. Three ball into the side, 1 ball wide open, and thereby lies the problem. The 2 ball, is it going to be a 2-4-5 combo? Whether the 5 wants to go to the rail, or does he want to try and bring the cue ball right up into the mix and try and get lucky? He's looking at the line for the 2-4-5 combo. You definitely need to be sitting really good in the 2 to make it easier to try and create the line to get to that 5, so he's trying to get in amongst it. Well, he's not. I mean, that 2 ball does cut, but it's a far easier safety he's got. Stick Larry on that 8 ball. He looks as if he's brushing the 2 behind the 4 and 9 and trying to duck over this side here. And now I'm not. Now he's back to. He's back to the little push through. Well, it's a big target for Larry to hit, and you never know what can happen here. This 2 can get bumped into the 5, or it could go straight in off the 5. But does he want to hit it soft? I don't know whether he does or he doesn't. Yeah, well, there you go. Commentator's eye. It did go in off the 5. But Larry's now going to have to be more creative because we've got a 4. We've got a 4-8-5 combo that he's going to have to work his head around. And it's gone in, but where's the 4 gone? It's gone almost safe, pretty much safe. So Larry's sort of clutching at straws here, trying to hang in. And he's got the cover this time. Oh, where's this 4 going? Oh, I don't think it's left anything on. The 4 doesn't go. Now, what the hell do you do here? I mean, if you kick the 4, you're going to push the 4 into the 9, and the 4's going to be there or thereabouts. He's got to a rail, and I suppose that's not a bad result, considering there wasn't really many options on there for Larry. Well, a bit of ducking and diving going on now. Is Spectre Dawn going to kick this from the short rail in the bottom onto the 4? No, he isn't. Well, that's going to be wide open now. So Larry will be getting at least another rack in the board here, I would think. Although he's got to play the big draw to get it on this 6 ball. Got to get these pure. But he isn't, he's going running forward. Well, I think the one problem with this is that if he gets this right, the 6 ball's going to stay there. It's whether the cue ball's going to see the 6. Well, he is. Watch the side pocket. Oh dear. Well, it's hasta la vista time, folks, and good night. And well done to Spectre Dawn for yet another Friday 9 ball. That hammering noise was the noise you heard when Larry hammered the final nail in his own coffin there with that scratch. So it's a 9-4 win to Spectre Dawn. Apologies for the interruption earlier on. That will happen from time to time until I get a new PC. But again, well done to Spectre Dawn. Thanks for watching, and hopefully you can join us as and whenever. We'll have a live stream of some description tomorrow, and we might have something on Sunday night. So until we meet then, we will wish you a very good night and see you again soon.